Good evening, guys and gals. Over there in Taco Whiskey here, Brian. I've been building this truck out for the roughly 2.5, 3 years, and I've been dialing it in as well as I can of what my needs are and how we want to camp off road and how I want to store my gear. This system that I want to show you is probably one of the things that I've been coming up with, um, been thinking about and looking at what's out there in the market as far as a seat delete. Now, but the few that I've seen just didn't really fit how I wanted to build it out because most of them are just straight platforms. I know some people that want to do DIYs where they can put power stations and other different things. And most people I know have dogs and they want to have something to store, but a lot of people want to have their back seat as well. I don't use my back seat, but I want to have some storage, and I also want to have a platform for my dogs to sit and to store my utensils, non-perishable food, everyday things that I would use on a camp out or um, on a trail. So I enlisted AJ from Colorado Camping Solutions to come up with an idea that I think sets the bar, and I think a lot of people will actually like this just because it utilizes all the space, has storage, and it's easy to be removable and replicated. I want something that easy that a lot of people might like. And everybody's got their own opinions, which is fine. Everybody's got their way of how they want to do things. This system actually works for me and for us for our camping setup. I've got my tripods, I've got some extra shoes, extra clothes, perishable foods, so stuff that cannot don't have to float around everywhere. So I think a lot of people are gonna like the system, and I wanted to kind of show you guys how it is. So let's take a look, shall we? Now this side is the passenger side, which is probably one of the most used ones because the dogs come in and out. So I had him make a drawer system with a platform. Now as you can see, it's got a little platform with a drawer system right here, and it still has space behind the seat, which is nice because there's other things you may want to put other things on the backside, and I have a perfect platform for the dog to lay in. Well, we solved that. So standard drawer system, Colorado camping position right here, and you see it pulls all the way out, all the way fully open. I have a nice little platform, and you see we put carpet down, which is actually pretty nice and comfy. It's only 60 inches wide, but that's the perfect size for sitting in the back of the cab, and it butts up right next to the drawer. But that's a decent sized drawer, and it can store whatever you need. I like it because I can store all of our dog stuff. I got my first aid off-road pallets. I won, obviously. Another first aid kit, and a doggy first aid kit. And then I got some water bottles, and of course, can't forget Jenga. But it's got plenty of storage, and I can still use it with the open door, what everybody has. And then close it back up, and you're good to go. And I think just this straight platform without everything on the other side still has enough storage for whatever you need. So if you don't want the extra on the side, it's perfect. Now I want to show you what this other side is. But first, I want to show you this pass through. So I had Hexpro back here before, which was okay. I wanted something back there instead of the plastic material because it just took up so much space. But he also made this flip top. So now I can store a bunch of other stuff. First aid kit. I've got some bags, and I've also have a blanket and rain jackets right here. So that's what's nice about this little storage. And you see it's secured with my backing board that I put in here, and it helps. And I still have room for pillows over here. All right, like I said, this is a full seat delete. So I've been utilizing this driver's side for a lot for the last year. I built my own system. I had a Milwaukee pack out for my perishables, my teas, my coffees, my flashlights, or my lighters for my lava box or my grill, So stuff that's stored in here that I can utilize at all times and be ready and available. So sunscreen, bug screen, wipes. So this is what I have on this side. And you see, it's still the same size. And you see, I still have my Milwaukee pack out because I still want to utilize this. Yeah, it's a little bit higher, but it gained more storage for all my extra utensils or whatnot. But these drawers are a little shorter, a little wider because of the fact I wanted a little bit smaller spaces on this side. So the top drawer, see, it's just buttoned up against it. I can put my food here if I wanted to, or whatever else, or I can put clothes here if I wanted to, if I want to have some 72-hour packouts. And the bottom drawer, you see. All right, so this is the side, driver's side I like. Up drawer, my storage, and storage down here for purpose. And this top right here can be removed. So it can be a straight pass through all the way down the line. If you guys don't want this, you can just have this bottom with two different drawers. A deeper, shorter door here, and a longer, shallow door on the other side. Door still opens with these drawers. I had them made just specifically like that size. 16 inches is about roughly the same size as what you need. Shorter, I can still store food or plates, whatever you need, and they still close. In the bottom drawer, I still have, all my stuff. I got two camping chairs, pillow, you know, and with Tacomas, it's always hard because it's not a lot of room, but a lot of people can't. There's just find ways to utilize the back seat because most people don't drive in the back seat unless you have kids. But if you don't have kids, you just have dogs, or you just want extra storage. So that's the passenger. So that's the passenger side, and I can still move the seat up and back. Now we can always have this drawer right here. So if you want something smaller, just let him know. We can do more. We can do more customization.